Announcing on Wuthering Waves 1.0 version and future adjustment directions. Okay. Let's talk. Greetings. We're the Wuthering Waves. Greetings, we are the Wuthering Waves dev team. Since the official launch of Wuthering Waves, we have received a lot of valuable feedback and suggestions through social media and in-game surveys. We are genuinely grateful for your attention and support. Honestly, I'm really surprised that they use these avenues. I've given feedback in surveys and games, and I'm like, I don't see anything. So it's good to hear that they're using those, and those are actual avenues that people are using. We apologize for the deficiencies and issues that in present Wuthering Waves, our first fully independently and developed globally published game at Kodo Games. We understood that this has affected your gaming experience, and we are working to improve it for those who love the game. We have been working on optimizations and iterations for the current 1.0 version, and the development of subsequent version updates is also underway. Below, we will address some of the most discussed concerned issues. On Echo development experiments. Echo development feels grindy and inadequate energy materials. We are aware of the common concerns in the community that current Echo leveling experience feels too grindy and the game lacks wave plate storage system. We have confirmed that we implement the following adjustments. We are working internally on solutions to address other common concerns. So what this means is that when you have wave plates that you're not utilizing, you are going to be able to store that excess. That's what that means to me. Now, as far as the Echo experience being kind of grindy, I will agree is kind of grindy. It's grindy mostly though because most people who are approaching the ecosystem, I think, want to advance quickly, and so it does feel a little unnatural. If once you get to level 15, it's all pretty smooth because the progress picks up again. It drops down once you get to about the 4-star level. Like, it really is a slog, and then it picks back up right after you hit level 15. So it really isn't that bad. But if you're doing it super early, if you haven't finished the story, if you haven't done any of your guidebook or gotten your characters to at least like Ascension rank 3, then it's like, it's really just, it's a drag. It's a drag, and it feels like a drag. That's an important thing, having the players' feedback. Honestly, like having the feedback, but also them responding to it actively is really important. Of course, people can have different perspectives and opinion on functionalities of the game, but the fact that they seem to care about the shared bug malfunctions is admirable. Exactly, and I think they're aware of that, and a lot of it's just because you can't understand the full scope of what a game is going to do whenever you put thousands of people in it. You can kind of prepare as much as possible to offset some of those dangers and really constantly hotfix things, but you can't really expect to the extent what's going to happen. And I think something that that worries me, but I hope is something that we can see or feel less of as time goes on. I really do hope that Kodo Games isn't pulling a full-on Mappa where we have people who are working day in and day out, not seeing their families for weeks at a time, and that people are being properly compensated, and we have multiple teams who are alternating, so we're not getting just people who are dragged down. Because once you have once you have tired and exhausted devs working to try to improve the game, you're going to have constant issues, and they're going to be multiplying. They're not going to be reducing. So I'm really hoping that that's what's happening here. So workplace environment, I think, is going to be really important, especially in a culture where that's not necessarily the case every single time. So in the current version, we will launch a limited time Echo material double yield event, Cord Cleansing. In version 1.1, we will adjust progression systems to reduce shell credit cost of Echo development. In version 1.1, we will remove the reward cutscene of Tacit Fields. Remove the reward cutscene of the Tacit Field. I haven't done Tacit Fields, so I don't really know what that is. And the rewards in Tacit Fields really aren't worth it, in my opinion. I'd rather do a boss any day for Ascension materials, to be honest. But tell me if I'm wrong, but that's just the way it feels like. So maybe Tacit Fields need to be changed as far as reward systems. As far as 1.1 and forward, the yield of echoes and echo development materials will be increased. In upcoming updates, we will introduce the wave plate storage system. Love it. Regarding our handling reward system of error when recycling of developed echoes. On May 29th, 2024, we were notified of an issue with the echo recycling system where the amount of shell credits players obtained when recycling developed echoes was wrong. Since this is an issue and directly impacts the game's balance, we fixed this problem through an emergency live update on the same night and issued compensation to all players. Immediate updates on the spot. You gotta love that. As part of the measures to minimize the event's impact and unfairness within the player community, we informed the players of the situation and announced that we would remove all additional shell credits obtained unexpectedly as a result of this bug within 14 business days and issue compensation accordingly. Is the echo recycling system having to do with like data merge and combining? I didn't notice, but okay, fair enough. However, due to the urgency of the issue, we failed to issue an announcement of this issue in first instance, which regrettably caused negative experience for our players. We sincerely apologize for our improper way of handling the situation and inconvenience caused. Following an internal discussion, we have decided to compensate all players for the shell credits based on the maximum amount of shell credits that have been unexpectedly yielded through this bug to address the negative impact it caused. We will round up the nearest whole number and provide extra compensation to all players. Shell credits times 1,000,000? 1,000,000 shell credits. That's insane. We apologize again for the hasty way we handled the issue and for any inappropriate wording in our announcements. We promise that all our future decisions shall reflect through consideration of professionalism. Additionally, to address the poor experience with the ecosystem, we will compensate all rovers with crystal solvents times 20. Crystal solvent equaling 60 wave plates. By the way, we've already got those too. It's insane. It's insane. I don't think I had 20 crystal solvents. So I literally got like double or triple the amount I had. And so that's already been distributed because June 3rd. On the arrow on the 5-star weapon description. So for those of you who don't know, the 5-star weapon that they're talking about is actually the Geon weapon. Apparently in some of the translations, it was listed that the weapon itself had features, and I think a certain translation of it, basically it said it provided this when in reality it did not. Here it is. So every time intro skill or resonance liberation is cast, heavy attack damage bonus is increased by 24%, stacking up to 2 times. This effect lasts for 14 seconds. Basically, the translation made it look like it was just something that was a given. Like every time, like basically it didn't require an activation of the intro skill or your resonance liberation cast. Is it a big deal? No, because these are skills that you're going to be casting a lot, especially if you have a Geon character. But was it an error? Yes, it was a translation error, and it made people think they were getting something markedly better. So people were upset, of course. So as it's been discovered with the description of the 5-star weapon Verdant Smelt in the game in certain languages contained a mistranslation. Upon discovering the issue, we promptly corrected the description and issued compensation to all rovers. We have also initiated a comprehensive internal review of the localized version of the in-game text across all languages that we support. Any corrections or improvements made during the process will be included in the upcoming updates. We sincerely apologize for the mistake and want to reassure you that we are committed to continuously improving the quality of our localization to better the experience for all rovers. Listen, Kurdo Games, if you ever need somebody to read over text, I'm really good at editing. All right. If you need to just like run anything by me that's, you know, that's been translated to English, I'll fix it. I'll fix it free of charge. Okay. I'll look over it. I get the benefit of just getting to see stuff early. Just let me know. I'll go over any translated text, any voice acting, anything like that. I'll go through it, okay? And I'll sift through it free of charge. It'll be easy, you know, not a problem for me. In the meantime, we will offer a one-time conversation of Forging Tides ×5 to all rovers for the known localization issue. These have already been distributed. As we endeavor to constantly improve the localization quality across different languages, we will encourage you to provide us with your comments and suggestions on improving the localization experience of players worldwide through in-game feedback channels or customer support. Thank you for your patience and understanding. Listen, I'm here. Eligibility mail function unlocked. The compensation is valid until 5:59 on June 28th. So get it in your mail. We have received extensive feedback on the duration of the rewards of Overdash Club event. To address your concerns, we have currently in the process of redesigning the rules and reward schemes for the upcoming events and immediate solutions as below. We will introduce a new limited time special event, Wuthering Exploration, to offer new rewards and content to improve your gaming experience. Event duration 6/13 until 6/27. Event rewards Astrite ×800, Morphable Elite Class Echo 1, Morphable Elite Class Echo 2, Premium Tuner, Premium Sealed Tube. Moving forward, we shall ensure greater collective endeavors internally in designing the version events to improve the event quality and reward a better experience. Honestly, I'm going to make a hot point. I know people didn't love the Overdash event, and that's been kind of the consensus here. I think the Overdash event was fine. Here's the thing. They were just simply too easy. So basically moving forward, they're going to improve that. All right. All right. Since the official launch of Wuthering Waves, we have received extensive feedback regarding the game storyline, localization, and various other aspects. We've been listening closely and are grateful for the continued enthusiasm and support from our players, which has exceeded our expectations. To allow everyone early access to experience more content and features in Wuthering Waves 1.0, we have decided to advance the release of subsequent content in 1.0 starting on June 6th at 10 a.m. This release will include the companion story Solitary Path for Resonator Yinlin and feature Resonator Convene event When Thunder Pours for Yinlin, a limited time challenge event Aloy Smelt, along with many more spin-off events and features. With Wuthering Waves 1.0 will last until June 28th, 2024, after which we will schedule server downtime and implement the update for Wuthering Waves 1.1 Thaw of Eons, which will include a new area, a whole new area, Mount Firmament, and new Resonators Jinshi and Changli, and a new boss Yue. We were praising Yue. Now we're having Jinshi, Changli, and a boss Yue, and a new area. And so thinking about it, I was like, okay, they're advancing the 1.0 June 6th, like a little early. Okay, that's like, I didn't really think much of it. Apparently, the Zenless Zone Zero release is supposed to happen that upcoming week. So they are jumping ahead of that release, pulling you in with more content and going, hey, by the way, just in case you thought that we were done at the end of this month, we have a lot of new content coming your way. To compensate for any inconvenience caused by this version timing adjustment, we will issue compensation of Radiant Tide ×10. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're legit saying, hey, we're advancing our content and giving you more content this month. And then on top of that, just because we know that might be a bit of a switch and a bit of an advancement for everybody, we're going to compensate you. They're compensating us for giving us more content, which is mind-blowing. So on combat and control experience optimization, we've heard your feedback regarding the poor experience with auto aiming and lock-on. I haven't been experiencing that tons of times. Auto aim with people like Mortify, aiming off into this has been awful. It makes his character unbearable, honestly. And then auto lock on, for me, it's more of targeting. Targeting is awful. I think that targeting needs to be select it, press to select. So I press middle mouse button to select, press it to unselect, roll your mouse wheel to change targets. That's my honest opinion. Or maybe like press control to switch targets. But something like that, right now, it's pretty unbearable for me. So auto aiming, auto lock on camera performance in battle. In recent updates, we have disabled the combat direction feature on PC by default. We have also optimized the default values and ranges for combat camera settings. If you're not maxing out your camera settings on PC, like it's pretty slow. So yeah. Bosses existing in combat state unexpectedly. In recent updates, we have optimized the aggro ranges for certain bosses, including Thunder and Mephis, Crownless, Lampy Lumen Myriad, and Impermanence Heron, and adjusted the prerequisites for enemies to leave the combat state to reduce into abnormal disengagements. Honestly, I didn't feel like this was a big deal. But I can understand. In the upcoming updates, we will introduce disengagement warning feature. So basically, the issue that was happening, and this happens sometimes with mobs, for me, it's not necessarily aggro range, it's cliffs. Enemies who approach cliffs, sometimes if they fall far enough, they'll die. Other times, they'll just respawn with full health. So poor game field design and impact signification. In future versions, we will constantly improve the event signification and game field design for characters and monsters, enhancing the overall combat experience and positive feedback during battles. Audio and sound effect bugs. In recent updates, we have addressed some issues regarding missing sound effects and excessively loud ambient sounds. We have completed some investigations and updates to fix these issues. We will continue to optimize the audio experience to provide more immersive audio-visual experience. Performance issues, crashes, and instability. I haven't had any crashes personally, but in the recent updates, we have fixed crash and instability issues affecting certain devices. We are currently identifying the cause of other crash reports and continue to implement fixes. We apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused. We are committed to ongoing performance optimizations. If you encounter related issues when gaming, please contact customer support for assistance. I feel like this is more of like a tablet thing and people who have low-end computers. Probably. I don't think it's probably like across the board. It's probably just like the tablets, the mobile devices. Depths of the Elusive Realm event optimization and updates. We have received numerous player feedback and suggestions regarding Depths of Elusive Realm events in 1.0. In the upcoming 1.1 update, we will further improve the event to add new content, including more playable characters, new challenges, new mechanics, and new boss. This is what I hope. I love the Elusive Realm. I think the Elusive Realm is really good. My one downside to Elusive Realm is that it spoils you. Playing Elusive Realm, you play it and you're like, oh my God, I love how this scales my character. And then you get back to like the real world and you're just like, oh man, this is kind of a bummer. Apart from the adjustments mentioned above, we recognize there are still many issues in the game that affect player experience. We are committed to listening to every single piece of feedback continuously, organizing, optimizing, and resolving these issues to make Wuthering Waves better. We will share and communicate future updates and optimization progress with you actively. Additionally, we will continue to gather player feedback through version surveys. Since Wuthering Waves is an official global launch, we have been disheartened by our inability to provide high-quality gaming experience to all of our rovers. We understand that continuously releasing better versions and content is our goal and our mission, and we will always strive to uphold them. Finally, we sincerely thank all rovers for your continuous attention and unwavering support for Wuthering Waves. I think overall, the game has been really well functioning for me. I have had some issues with camera control. I have had some issues personally with like the voice acting and how sometimes it sounds very deadpan or very emotionless. But overall, I think the game is very fun. There is lots to do, and not just farming, but it's actually enjoyable combat, enjoyable to learn the characters. Characters don't feel dead inside. Characters feel enjoyable. I will say, I really hope that the characters that, you know, on the lower end of the skill or the tier list, I hope they get some additional love and synergy. I hope we can have additional features added that make them stronger in the end, because I think the more characters you have available, the more it's better for free to play. But overall, I think the story it really picks up later on. Hopefully they can fix that beginner part in like the beginning chapter or two until Scar comes around. But overall, I've had a very enjoyable experience with the game, and I have very few complaints that aren't game breaking. There's mostly just really just like parkour traversal, and like the camera randomly panning sometimes, and like I said earlier, with combat with certain enemies seemingly having no reaction to getting like pummeled in the face. So like I want more reactive combat, but I love the dodging system. I love the parry system. So I think that there's a lot of really cool things too that I think are dependent on skill. I love being a free-to-play player because you're able to do things like, oh, I'm a level 50 and I'm versing things that are much higher than my level. So I hope they're able to add more things that are more of a skill challenge, and are rewarding in that sense. Like in the sense that if you're under levels, you can still beat this challenge because you put in the time and now you're skilled with the game. So I think there's more things that like that. It feels rewarding and it feels nicer, because I think a lot of people want to overpower a challenge and beat the challenge, but there's also people who love to feel like there is a challenge attached to it, and that they can achieve something because they are skilled at the game, or they've learned the moves and the tactics and the strategies and stuff like that. So overall I'm enjoying the game. I mean, this is very different from my initial experience when I first started playing. But I honestly can see myself playing this game through till 1.1 at least, and giving it an honest review and seeing truly how this game is going to progress with things like additional characters, additional bosses, additional zones. I'm super excited to see where this game goes, and that's something that games struggle to do with. Sometimes they like once they release the initial content, they're like, well, that's it. This feels like they had a complete bit of story, and they're like, hey, we want to pump out content, and we have plans, and we're showing you our roadmap, and we're showing you what's going to happen. I think as long as they remain transparent and they continue to show us that roadmap along the way, as well as those missteps, and so we can see what they're doing right as well as what they're doing wrong, then I think that they will have a positive relationship with the gaming community, and it's really refreshing to see. So I think ultimately enjoying the game. I really hope to see them improve and see them do better, and I really hope that once again that everyone's getting the good night's sleep. So that's the most important thing to me, because honestly I'd hate to see developers working their asses off to make this game be great for thousands of people, and then they're not being treated right. So that's my biggest concern more than anything. So that's it for that one. My voice just broke, Jesus Christ. That's it for that one, guys. Hope you liked the video, and with this update, the 1.0 1.1 update, I hope you enjoyed the content we've been putting out lately. If you have been enjoying it, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one, or in our live stream, which we stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday on ShawnSetGO. We're ShawnSetGO everywhere, on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Discord. I'll see you in those. May fortune favor your journey. Peace.